Hi everyone, today we're going to take a look at Shadowrun Returns. Shadowrun takes this classic role-playing system and turns it into a sort of isometric top-down RPG, which takes a lot of the tropes of this genre and turns it into a more streamlined and polished experience. There is a robust character creation system in the game, as it's a pretty deep RPG. Here you can choose your different race. These are kind of your basic fantasy races, but they definitely appear different in this game than they would in traditional fantasy RPG. You can also have a lot of customization in your character. You can choose the way they'll appear on screen. You can also choose kind of the specifics about the character model. You're not going to be zooming in a ton in the game, but this character model will represent you, and it's nice that you have a lot of options on how to represent it. My only thing here is I wish there was a little less of the Seattle punk stuff and some other choices, but it definitely fits with the theme of the game. Apart from that, you'll be assigning karma points. These karma points allow you to unlock different skills. They're kind of the leveling up system, and you have some to start out, so you can kind of customize your character further before the game begins. Again, I think early on, your choices aren't going to totally punish you, so don't be too scared about what you're choosing here. The game is broken up into a series of chapters, and these chapters are all pretty guided story-wise. There's some side quests to do, of course, but the story is pretty guided, kind of like a traditional role-playing tabletop game. As you can see, you'll have story elements where you're chatting with characters, as well as the options for combat, which we'll see in a minute. Overall, the dialogue is well written and definitely a plus of the game, and which is good since the story is pretty on rails and you do have a lot of reading to do. The game features a turn-based combat system, which is nice since I think a lot of the kind of real-time of Baldur's Gate did not really work for me, so I really like this turn-based system. It has a lot in common with, say, XCOM in terms of cover. Other than that, you do have different weapons, abilities, and things that you can use. So here, the character will take cover, and then he can target different units. In this game, you can almost always take a shot at almost anyone, but again, the cover level and your distance will affect your probability of hitting. So I'm going to run up with my main character here and see if I can do a strong shotgun blast on the character, the guy that just betrayed us, and we'll see what happens. Again, this is just basic opening combat. There's a lot more going on in the game. I just want to show you kind of the early missions, not to spoil the story since that really is the main crux of the game, but combat does get more complex with magic spells, drones, and other abilities. Combat, which is the main gameplay of the game, works extremely well on iOS. The tap-to-move mechanics, as well as quickly going through your items, is really well done here. I think this really is maybe the preferred way to play. The only challenge for me is my iPad 2 seems a little weak to do it and has some crashing problems, but that might just be on my end. But I definitely think so far iOS has been a much better experience as compared to the PC version. The world creation here is really amazing. I'm not a previous Shadowrun fan, so I don't know too much about the world, but it definitely seems fully fleshed out, and this is apparent in the art design, in the dialogue, and everything else. You really feel like you're entering a living, breathing world that's existed before and after you were in it. The save issue that existed on the PC version is definitely here as well. When you try to exit the game, maybe switch apps, if for some reason your memory usage gets too high and your iPad decides to shut this app down, suddenly you're restarting the mission over again. I really think this is a very archaic system, and especially on mobile, it needs to be rethought. It's definitely the major complaint about this game and something that I hope they will alleviate soon. That being said, I think Shadowrun Returns is one of the best games of its kind on iOS. It really does a great job with combat, rivaling even the mighty XCOM, and actually feels right at home on iOS with the tap controls, even better than its PC version, which you can't say for a lot of games. So I definitely recommend picking this one up if you like story-based games as well as nice turn-based, cover-based combat.